Douglas Santos is the left back. And Allison, not a great clearance. Not a good clearance at all. Doan over there chasing it down, but Brazil have turned it over. So there is Tomiyasu. And is there an issue already for Paquetá of Brazil?
He's holding his hamstring, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
He's felt something. Just in this little tussle.
Tomiyasu is kind of a no-nonsense defender, doesn't mind the physical stuff at all. So Rayan for Brazil. Japan, as you would expect, have got players back. They've huge energy in their team, and they will want Brazil to attack, and they love to counter-attack. They may be the fastest counter-attacking team in the competition, but that's not clever. They've given the ball away. It's gone out for a corner. And look at that from Bruno Guimaraes trying to whip up the crowd again. It had gone quiet, but not for long.
If you can whip them up anymore, they are whipped up. It was a mistake by Japan. They had the ball and they've given it away. Guimaraes gets a little deflection. And we see Gabriel on this corner. We've seen him on enough with Arsenal all season.
So Guimaraes with Casemiro in the team, although Casemiro didn't play well in the first game, was taken off, but he has a bit of a freer role. Paquetá wants to help Casemiro a bit more, add more energy and legs into that middle three. Guimaraes, that is an absolutely awful corner.
That's when centre-backs go absolutely berserk and run all this way, and then you can't even beat the first man.
Well, there he is, Carlo Ancelotti. He has the Portuguese, the whole lot, which the Brazilians absolutely love. He makes every effort to speak it. Did his pre-match interview before the game in Portuguese.
St. Louis is already
pressure.
That's not the first time it's happened. They close down so quickly, and then they attack so quickly as well.
So that's Ito. He's not related to Jonya Ito. Look at, again, the energy, the pace. Dyson Maeda. What's the call from the referee? Well, it's a goal kick.
Yeah, he's up against one of the best centre-backs in the world at the moment, Marquinhos. Ooh. Will that be overturned?
That's his Moriyasu, the Japanese coach, former player. They all kind of, they're national coaches. They've played for the national team, and they come up through their coaching ranks. This is Cunha of Manchester United, and he didn't get the call from the referee. Nakamura goes back to Ito. You see that clearly their back three. Tomiyasu with Ajax in the Netherlands, and that's up towards Ais Ueda, the top scorer in the Eredivisie. Remember how well Troy Parrott did, but this guy shot out the lights for Feyenoord, the number 18 for Japan. Now Neymar getting in here, and that was clever from Suzuki. Bit of improvisation, decided to punch it away, just couldn't be sure. Danger clear for now.
If he didn't come, Vinny Jr. was on to win it. Keeper done extremely well.
I said Neymar. We saw Neymar beforehand. The director punching up the shots of the Brazilians, particularly when they were warming up. There was an awful lot of Neymar in there. I don't know, are we going to see too much of him today? Although Ancelotti did say he can play for more than 15 minutes. So Paquetá seems to have settled down for him after the hamstring scare. Suzuki, the American-born Japanese goalkeeper, born in New Jersey. Ito goes long. Ueda had gone the other way.
And Marquinhos went with Maeda right into midfield, and Casemiro then just dropped.
Casemiro, when Ancelotti took over, because they had two previous coaches in their qualification, when they finished 5th. In the past, it would have put them in the playoffs. For them, the shame of the playoffs. And Casemiro was recalled instantly by Ancelotti when he took over. This is Danilo, injured for the last 2 World Cups, so these are big matches for him and moments for him. Bruno Guimaraes in towards Vini Jr. Well, they'll keep the pressure on for now, Brazil. Gabriel, Paquetá, Vini Jr. And that is a free kick. Sano, who doesn't mind putting it about in the middle of the field, giving away the foul.
You've got Kamada and Sano, they're going to get stuck in all day. They're not going to let the Brazilians have this easy.
Standing over the free kick for Brazil. He's with Flamengo now, left England in January. So this is sent in high, and Suzuki, well, he got it at the second attempt, but once you come out there as a goalkeeper, you've just got to take charge.
He's up against Gabriel, isn't he?
Yeah.
Gabriel jumps into him. He does well to catch the second one, the keeper.
So they're not afraid to do this and invite the Brazilian pressure. If they can get through that press, though, they'll fancy a crack at the heart of that Brazilian defence. There he is.
Fabinho.
I know, yeah. His face is the roar. Those shots have just been shown on the 2 giant big screens. There's one at either end of this magnificent arena. Marquinhos, this is his 3rd World Cup for Brazil. To the quarters in the last 2 of these, which is failure for them, really. The 5 times winners. Is this going to be their year? Rayan has made a darting run. Brazil go the other way. Casemiro, he is 34 now. He'll be staying out here, isn't it? Inter Miami, his next port of call, and he'll love that. Marquinhos. Rayan. So Cunha drifting. He's surrounded by Japanese players at the moment, so Vini Jr. has gone to the other side there. And Cunha has been man-marked at the moment. Casemiro. Marquinhos. Rayan. So Paquetá and Cunha were inside the penalty area. Gabriel has it back. Brazil dominating the possession just now. But that, if it breaks down, that'll play into the Japanese hands with the speed and the energy they have in their team.
They don't mind that, Japan. You just can have the ball. It's going to try very difficult to break us down.
Guimaraes. Casemiro, or there's the ball in. Danilo for Brazil. It loops across, Paquetá on it. Japan can't get it clear. Guimaraes with the shot, they're screaming for handball. Referee wasn't interested, the Italian has waved it away. Guimaraes. So they've 4 waiting in the penalty area. Casemiro. Marquinhos. Delicate little chip in, Vinicius Jr. in after it, and it's claimed by Suzuki, the Japanese goalkeeper, in the end.
Yeah, look more threatening now. Great run by Danilo over the top, great ball into him.
So Taniguchi plays in Belgium. Playing for this team a long time. He's 11 years a senior international for Japan. The crazy thing about this team, Japan has never won a knockout game in the Men's World Cup. You go back to the last campaign, beating Spain, beating Germany, just couldn't get it done in the last 16 as it was then. This is very deliberate from Sano. They could do with a spell of holding onto the ball. They really have hardly had a kick, but this is better and more precise. They could do with a spell of holding onto the ball. They really have hardly had a kick, but this is better and more precise. The referee's call.
He wants a card. Oh, it was a little high, wasn't it?
It was.
A little high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ouch.
It's not a nice tackle.
But he does love a tackle. Kenny Jr. didn't fancy it though. And there's the yellow card for Kaishu Sano. So that could soften his cough a little.
Yeah, it's very early on, isn't it? 12 minutes gone.
They'll be trying to make a mark, not the mark that Vinicius has on his ankle after that, but just lay down a physical marker with the tree in the middle for Brazil. Casemiro, he loves a tackle as well. Vinny Jr., no. Doan has it back for Japan. That's Taniguchi. Moriyasu, the Japanese coach, when they got out here first, he said, look, we're here, we want to win this competition, that's our aim. Ueda, well, Brazil dealt with that pretty well. Ueda couldn't get near enough to it. Here's Casemiro. That's a really nice ball. Good football. Cunha with the shot. And it's gone out for the corner. Suzuki had his angles wrong. I think he could have let that go, but couldn't take the risk, I suppose.
Yeah, the keeper couldn't take a risk at all. He wasn't sure if it was sneaking into the bottom corner. That was better, quicker from Brazil.
Short corner. Vinny Jr. with the touch in. Paquetá, they line up for it. Oh! You can see where Casemiro was arriving late. He was a little too late. Guimarães at the heart of the Brazilian attacking flair.
Yeah, trying the ground one. It's just Guimarães just falls over there. It's just behind him. It's not the greatest ball in the world. Is that sneaking in? No, but he's not too sure.
Yeah, he couldn't take the chance, in fairness to him, yeah. So here's the Japanese reply. Ito playing that forward. Now that's lovely from the other Ito and the Japanese team, and they've got a free kick. Look where this is. So a yellow card dished out here. Is it to Casemiro or Marquinhos?
Casemiro trying to get back to him. Ito does well, gets his body across Casemiro.
Yeah, so that's two of the big tacklers, one in either team, because we know he loves the tackle. So a yellow against Casemiro, and Sano, the Japanese player, booked. This is in a great position, and they have players who can really damage Brazil from this point.
Ito just stepped onto his right foot to get the tackle.
Yeah. So if they're going to get the ball past this fella, it's going to have to be pretty special. So Kamada of Crystal Palace is over it, sizing up the options with Sano. It won't be Maeda to take it anyway. Dyson Maeda, the Celtic man, has just taken up a position to the left of the Brazilian wall. Paquetá, that's his job. If the wall jumps and all that. So just over 15 minutes played in Houston in Texas. Brazil have shown us some glimpses We haven't seen much from Japan up to this point. And the free kick comes off the wall, gone out for a corner. Let's hope the corner routine is better than the free kick from Kamada.
I think Kamada even hurt himself when he took this. Yeah. Seems to be stretching his groin. He didn't catch it at all. All famous faces.
Ronaldo and Roberto Carlos and the president of FIFA. Ronaldo, maybe he's doing a bit of online shopping or something, but he's not watching the game. He'll need to watch this now. Junya Ito of Japan with the free kick. Corner kick, excuse me. Bounces and they are able to belt it away. Ito again. Nakamura working hard to get beyond him. He did that, but the ball to him was just too strong.
Have to work a bit harder to get that.
Yeah.
It was a bad ball.
Nakamura is in France with Reims. Good jump from Rayan. Taniguchi. They made a lot of changes. A lot of ground, as you would expect from Daisen Maeda. To believe Gabriel of Arsenal wasn't in the Brazilian squad at the last World Cup in Qatar. He was considered a bit hot-headed. Douglas Santos with Zenit in St. Petersburg. So Paquetá is in the, I suppose, the old centre forward position. Look where Cunha's gone to. So he's now in the playmaker role. So they've got false nines and false tens and everything.
Santos moves up wide, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Spreads it that way. Vinicius Junior steps in from the line.
It's just if it breaks down and Japan are able to counter them, they have to have their defence in position. Guimaraes. This is really nice football. Paquetá. Vinicius. Look at the pressure on him. Now it's going to be a Brazilian ball, but they are swarming around when they need to.
Junior telling the ref, there's two people on me. That's not a problem. What's going to happen to him?
Danilo. Well, everybody out of the, look at everybody out of the Japanese dugout claiming that it was their throw-in. The assistant referee and the referee did agree.
They give you very little time on the ball, Japan.
Rueda was hit by Marquinhos. Again, just a little reminder, I'm here and I'm really good at marking players like you. Has to do some marking now, potentially, as Ito of Bayern plays that across, and that's a careless one, it's loose. Douglas Santos got that out of his feet. Here's Vinny Jr. with the ball in. Well, they were quick there. We know Vinicius, at the pace he has, is just ridiculous. Tomiyasu in the right place at the right time for Japan and able to clear.
Yeah, getting it away like that without looking. Just going to invite the Brazilians back onto you.
have not felt that first 20 minutes at all.
No.
Zipped along. It's a Danilo. Casemiro. Gabriel. Japan really well organised, but Brazil able to keep the ball pinging around the place until that moment. That's too long.
Frustration.
Too high. Yeah.
Trying to get it out there too quickly. The Brazilians just want to play and drag the Japanese out, but they're doing it really, really well. They got when Brazil have the ball, they go into a 5 at the back. Japan. With the Ling on there.
Absolutely. And it's a hot day outside. This brave man with the hat and the tracksuit top on. Danilo. Paquetá. Danilo. Work rate just closing down. It's a nightmare.
The amount of work they put into this.
This is not going to be straightforward for Brazil. Feels like a Brazilian party, and Japan are here to spoil it.
They're doing a good job so far.
Cunha. That is Sano across. And remember, he's the player who has the yellow card against him. Cunha looking very frustrated and gesturing towards the Italian referee, who's saying this is a goal kick.
He is very lucky. He is very lucky. That tackle now took him out. Took him out completely. The referee has waved it on. Water break.
Yeah. We wait for the first goal. It's 0-0 in Houston.
Check out the Total Baller. Break down all the big moments as they happen. Unfiltered and unrestricted. Your ultimate player this FIFA World Cup. RTE players. Dive in.
It's not only little ones that make a mess. Or get really mucky. Which is why Fairy made the big one. With double the stain removal, it handles even adult-sized messes. Double the clean, and still so soft on sensitive skin. The big one from Fairy. For little messes and big messes. Always keep out of reach of children.
Yeah, welcome back. Marquinhos and Neymar, Marquinhos certainly was having a chat with the referee as he walked over to get his own drink of water. You're looking at that Cunha effort and the save from Suzuki, but clearly, Ronnie, that was about the challenge by Sano on Cunha.
Yeah, most definitely about that, because for me, it was a foul, definite foul. Now whether he gets a yellow card for it,
he gave a goal kick.
Well, he should have got a foul anyway. But he's got to be very, very.
I know.
Sano, very careful now, because one more tackle that he gets wrong, he's off.
And the same for Casemiro. He's got a yellow. So these are.
He's had a yellow in the first game as well, didn't he?
Yeah, for sure. So. The Japanese work rate, the energy that they have, the amount of pressure they're able to put the Brazilian player who has the ball under is impressive. And they'll have no problem keeping that going, I would think.
No, always keep that going. But they set up so well, don't they? They've got to be careful also that the likes of Paqueta and Guimaraes don't get in behind their midfielders. And then you're struggling there with 3 centre-backs. Do we go to them? What do we do?
Yeah. So we're ready to resume. McIntyre would have given his manager a scare in the first couple of minutes when he was clutching his hamstring.
The referee's just having a chat with Cunha, Guimaraes, explaining what he felt.
Well, a goal kick, and the goal kick will restart the match after the first half water break. Brazil 0, Japan 0. Suzuki lashing that forwards. First time they've done that, and they win the second ball. So maybe that's the way for them to go at Brazil, and they've got a corner. It was Nakamura who was across there for Japan, playing it off Gabriel.
Just looking at Wade as well up front. He goes and hits the centre-backs as well when the ball is in the air. He'll have a big battle as well with them. He's not the biggest lad in the world, but he'll have a fight for you.
Yeah. So they're ready for the corner. Plenty of height in the Japanese. Plenty of height in the Japanese.
In the stands, stars on the pitch. Japan have stolen it. Sano driving them forward. Still Sano! A goal that will echo from Texas to Tokyo. The Eternal Kings. The 5-time champions, the guardians of the game's greatest throne, are behind. Kaishu Sano with his first international goal. Japan lead Brazil.
Unbelievable, and what a start for Japan, but this is the moment for Sano, because Sano, this is not about a build-up. This is about simply winning a ball, going with conviction, becoming a one-man show, and then striking an incredible finish here. Even got grabbed at the moment he struck that. But this is just straight ahead. Want to get to goal. It comes off an unforced error. And this is how Japan takes the lead. Incredible start here in Houston.
But we knew they had it in them.
Yeah, I still think it's amazing, though, with the amount of changes and players that are missing. But I think that is, to your point, the beauty of the system, because everybody can plug into it. But I don't think anybody, I don't think any of the pundits that I know, any of my friends have said that this is an overwhelming win today for Brazil.
Marquinhos. Only the second goal this tournament that Brazil have conceded. Of course, the other one was in their opener against Morocco when they fell behind. And this man here leveled it up for them, Vinicius Junior.
It's just a thrilling start. It really is. And both teams are employing their ideas of how they want to play the game today. But one moment separates it.
And recent history does not look good for Brazil when conceding first. In their last 5 matches, when they've gone behind in such circumstances, they've failed to win. Not since a victory over Croatia back in 2014. If they come from behind in a position such as this to win. That is deemed as a foul on Douglas Santos.
No question on go on. This is an important set piece here, and Brazil's got targets for sure.
Paquetá and Guimarães, the two over it.
Pretty high line here from Japan. That near post area is something to keep an eye on.
Paquetá swings it in. Marquinhos climbing. Didn't get the connection on that he would have hoped for.
Well, you got good targets with Marquinhos and Gabriel. There's no question about that. This is a look back at the goal, the final moment. Just a beautiful finish here, and you saw it. Gets nudged at the last minute. But that's just from picking up a bad ball and going directly to goal. That's as straight a path to goal as you're going to get with the player running with the ball at his feet.
Yeah, great confidence from Sano, who was brought into the starting lineup today. Only made 3 appearances in the qualifying campaign. Vinicius Junior, comfortable for Suzuki.
Yeah, Vinny Junior's drifting inside a lot now. And he gets in a really good area here, and we know how he can strike the ball. We've seen some of the quality of his goals.
He's the first Brazilian to score in every group game, Vinicius Junior, since Ronaldo and Rivaldo did so back in 2002. Gabriel. Straight ball down the middle, thumped away by Taniguchi. Douglas Santos. Cunha of Manchester United. To Danilo of Flamengo. Danilo delivering. Japan not dealing with that particularly well. Vinicius Junior, back it comes from Paquetá. Vinicius Junior once more. It is a crowd scene inside that penalty box. And Ritsu Doan gets Japan out of a tight spot. But Junya Ito did not get very far. And Paquetá's ball down the line has too much on it for Vinicius Junior. And Japan breathe again.
Well, Junya Ito was holding on to the ball to try and give somebody time to get in front of it. But we go back to the lone goal of this game, a fantastic one from Sano. And there might be some question there if the Brazilian center backs needed to get out to him a little bit quicker once he breached midfield. But what a start for Japan.
Well, Vinicius Junior getting a boot on that. Guimarães now. Cunha. Back for Vinicius Junior. go on with an important challenge.
And Brazil's starting to heat up, and they're getting guys around the top of the box. Paquetá.
Tomiyasu with an important header there. Now a chance for a Japanese break. Ito being pursued by Paquetá.
Now they can walk it up and kind of get a sigh of relief, but they were under heavy pressure. And Brazil's press was effective. They were turning the ball over. It was leading to chances. And there was some chaos in that organized Japanese setup.
I've mentioned the year 2002 a lot already today for obvious reasons. The last time Brazil lifted the trophy. It's actually the last time as well since they came from behind to win a knockout match at the quarter-final stage against England. And moving on very quickly from that, here is Lucas Paquetá. Casemiro, Cunha, Gabriel joining in, Guimaraes. Japan continuing to frustrate through their diligent work.
Pretty remarkable, because when Brazil breaks a line with a pass, because the lines are so tight, the ability to recover is always there for Japan and get pressure on the ball very quickly.
Paquetá, a picture of sheer frustration there, not happy at all that he wasn't getting any movement ahead of him.
Passing lanes are cut out for long periods here.
There's Cunha, and again it's a shot from distance, and it's dropped uncomfortably by Suzuki.
Yeah, it wasn't struck well. It's from distance, as you mentioned, and it's going to take something special to beat Suzuki from there. The more this goes on, the more maybe the frustration leads, and it can lead to opportunity in transition, possibly for Japan.
Cunha. Ryan. Gabriel. Douglas Santos over on that far left touchline, getting chalk on his boots, hoping it might just come his way.
Well, he's bringing the width now, so is Danilo, and that's allowing Vinny Jr. to come inside it. It's very congested in there. And Carlo Ancelotti mentioned in the press conference, the ball has to move quicker.
Vinicius Jr. Casemiro, loose touch from him. And Maeda is on his way. He's short on support, though, just now, and it needs the intervention of Paquetá to hold up his run.
And that's a great point you bring up, because when you're defending this deep, it's hard to get out in transition, and that one player's got to make very good decisions on if he should hold the ball, turn away from pressure, keep going.
This is a position, though, that Japan have been in before in a World Cup match. Back in the 2006 group stage, they were 1-0 up in Dortmund, and Brazil came back to win 4-1.
Brazil didn't go forward there. I don't know if they were waiting for an injured player or what, but that was the time with Japan spread out to really go with real verve and tempo and directness. But now they're settled again.
And there is some frustration coming from the stands as well, as far as Brazil are concerned. A lot of Brazilians here today. But not particularly pleased from what they're seeing from their team in terms of going forward. Real lack of penetration from them at the minute. Everything in front of Japan, and they'll be more than happy with that. And they're forced to cross in from deep. Their shots have been from long range. And in terms of carving something out inside that penalty area, it's been nothing.
The real chances aren't there yet. They're half chances at best. These are so difficult. It's so difficult of a team to play against Japan. You almost think your goal has to come off a press or a deflection. They just move in such a beautiful block.
Gonyu Ito of Genk in Belgium scored the third goal in that 4-0 win over Tunisia. Also came off the bench to set up the equaliser and the winning goal against Brazil last October. The Japanese number 14 out on the right wing. And receiving it now from Tomiyasu. Doan.
Japan's got to be careful here because Vinny Jr.'s isolated one-on-one with a defender, and now with Japan committing forward, if they can win the ball and find an early ball to Vinny Jr., they could be off and running. Samiro's having to play the game differently. His game has been tempered a bit with the yellow card.
Here's the goal scorer, Sano. Ritsu Doan. Ito. 3 to aim at in the middle. Maeda was the closest to it. Brazil clear. Hiroki Ito up from the back. Interesting cross. And flicked away by Douglas Santos. Well, Japan, for me, carry a greater threat going forward than Brazil do at the moment, albeit not with great frequency.
Well, that's the difference, frequency. I mean, Brazil's had 60% of the possession, the territorial advantage, but it hasn't led to as much as Japan's maybe had.
Sano sent sprawling, on it goes. Referee plays the advantage. Nakamura. Maeda.
Exactly how Japan wants to play. Just have these selective moments, make great use of them, and then suffocate you with this remarkable tight team structure and shape.
Oh, lovely play there. But Doan just couldn't pick out the final pass. But the way they worked it in from that right-hand side was impressive.
Well, that was a bad giveaway from Brazil again, though, because they had an opportunity to get off in transition. Their passing hasn't been clean at times out of the back, including the one that led to the goal from Sano.
Yoichi Kamada of Crystal Palace. Sweeping it over to the right. But Gonyu Ito might have a pop himself here. He did. And Guimarães is sent tumbling to the card out. And Guimarães frustrated because he was on his way.
Well, Kamada's, this is a professional foul. And if you're Brazilian, you're pretty happy here that Bruno Guimarães has been fouled and that a referee has brought out a yellow card here. He has set a standard for what's going to happen in transition if people are going to try to pull off professional fouls.
Marquinhos. Lofted in. Japan hold firm. And Brazil were expecting a corner. It is not. We are now into a minimum of 4 added minutes at the end of this first period. Both goals in the knockout phase so far have come from outside the box. Canada scoring with one very dramatically late in the game yesterday. They'll be coming here next.
But that from Maeda, just to dig that out in the corner, that was a ball that looked like was in possession of Brazil. Just a relentless work ethic. They contest every ball.
Tomiyasu. Will be a Brazil ball in the shape of a throw.
For Tomiyasu, it's only a 5th start for him. You got to wonder what's going on in the mind of that man, Carlo Ancelotti, the first foreign manager ever for Brazil.
Yeah, played at the 1990 World Cup. Carlo Ancelotti. Italy came 3rd. Played 90 minutes against England, a match for 3rd place, which Italy won.
And such a revered figure in the game. He's just done it in so many different ways, so many different levels.
He was actually on the coaching staff as well when Italy lost on penalties against Brazil here in the US in the '94 final. So many links to different strands of the game, Carlo Ancelotti. As I mentioned right at the top, that was his CV is unrivaled, unmatched.
Unbelievable, yeah. And that was the '94 Romario Bebeto team. And there was a young 18-year-old that was brought on the bench to experience a World Cup named Ronaldo.
Whatever happened to him?
Well, he's here today.
One of many Brazilian legends, Brazilian royalty watching on, but watching the current crop trailing Japan by a goal to 0 and struggling to break them down.
For me, Brazil needs to get more width in their game. They need to get more crosses in. They have to spread Japan out side to side a bit more. And now we see creeping up the field Danilo. That's the ball you need.
Marquinhos. Qatar was the target and hooked away by Junya Ito.
Yeah, I think Danilo's got to take that down and take that wide and try to get to the end line and turn the corner, as opposed to recirculating it and a cross coming in at a different type of angle. I think it's got to be mixed up a little bit.
Brazil have got a player down at the moment. And Maeda, who's been quiet, able to get that one under control.
Paquetá come up limping a little bit.
And that is half-time. Japan are halfway there, halfway to claiming their first ever knockout victory at a FIFA World Cup. Brazil have had all of the ball, but have struggled to break down this resolute Japanese side, who lead by a goal to 0, and some strike too from Kaishu Sano. And the Samurai Blue managed to cut through Brazil, and they have the half-time advantage here. Brazil with it all to do at the break here in Houston. Japan, as things stand, would be heading through to the round of 16. They lead by a goal to 0.
What do you look for when you watch a game?
When I'm on the field, I love to contribute to strong defense, so I look for that.
That's the best part.
Dove, the game is ours.
Don't tell me you lost your debit card. Don't worry, you can just...
I know. Lock my card with the BMO app.
No, I was going to say you can just check with the VAR. I don't know what all the fuss is about. I like VAR.
Come celebrate the FIFA World Cup at McDonald's. For a limited time, score a second collectible cup for free with every FIFA World Cup meal. Come celebrate the FIFA World Cup at McDonald's. For a limited time, score a second collectible cup for free with every FIFA World Cup meal.
Yo, Dane.
Yo, JD, you see my text? They haven't lost. These guys are unbelievable.
They haven't lost?
Since 96.
When I step up in the place, say yo, I step correct. You all in check. I got that head knock. Make you work your neck. You all in check.
Haven't lost yet.
1 + 1 equals more of the greatest stories. Hulu on Disney Plus. Stories about survivors.
Pablo Escobar.
The most dangerous planet.
Murder.
Prophecy.
Beer and propane.
Dawn of a new era.
Dodging death.
The Premier League.
Whatever it takes.
Power, faith, and love.
Where do you hail from? Canada.
Best of the best stories now with even more from Hulu.
Amazing.
Have it all with Hulu on Disney Plus.
Is David's backyard ready for the FIFA World Cup? Maybe he'll build it, like Beckham. Brilliant move here. David's going to the Home Depot for the assist. David can flip it like Rich. Paint it like Patricia. Deliver it like Dan.
My beehives. This is so relaxing.
Plant it like Patrick.
Or watch it all happen just like Josh.
Very happy to help.
And with more insights, you always know where your money's going.
Turns out I'm terrible at soccer, so let's switch back for the second half.
Come on, how bad could it be?
It's pretty bad.
One's at the ready.
Swish and flick.
You're getting really good,
he said, beaming around at them. Ron pulled out his own wand. The club flew suddenly out of the troll's hand.
Stupefied.
There was a blinding flash of red light.
Harry Potter, the full cast audio editions. Listen on Audible.
Coca-Cola at the half. Kaishu Sano's match-opening goal was his first career international goal in his 16th cap for Japan, and there are the Japanese fans now elated at their 1-0 score at the half. They're currently up a goal over Brazil in this knockout match. Here are the first half stats. As I said, Sano's match-opening goal, his first career international goal in his 16th cap for Japan. Brazil did hold possession for 68% of the half. That was expected. 4 of their 8 shot attempts coming from inside the box. As we welcome you into our World Cup studios, Jason, Claire, and Asmir. And guys, as you predicted, this is exactly what you thought would happen. 2 very contrasting styles. You've got this Japanese side who are content to just absorb the pressure, bide their time. Where they could counterattack. And you could sort of feel that coming a little bit. You knew that that moment was going to present itself. And a really fantastic individual effort from Sano, picking the ball up, recognizing the imbalance in Brazil's defense, going right by Casemiro and taking a quick shot outside the 18-yard box. Really good individual effort from him. But it comes from more than that. It comes from the movement in their front threes. So you can see here, Maeda, Ueda, and Doan all make really critical moves. The second that Sano gets the ball, they turn and sprint into space. Turn and burn. Turn and burn. And what they're doing is they're running on the outside shoulders of these defenders to pull their attention away from the middle of the park. All 3 Brazilian defenders here, nobody steps to the ball. They collapse almost to the penalty spot. But Magalhães has to at least step to the ball at some point outside the 18-yard box. They cannot allow a free shot from out there. And at some point, it's Doan who runs out onto the right side. He becomes irrelevant, and you don't need to worry about him. Somebody has to put pressure on the ball. Don't worry about cover. You cannot allow the shot to get it to escape. Japan are playing 5 across the back, and you can tell Brazil are getting frustrated. You can see it in their play. They aren't being able to be as creative as they'd like to be. What does Japan or what does Brazil need to do to break down this Japanese structure?
They need to use the width of the pitch, the full width of the pitch. They're not doing that at the moment. In the first 45 minutes, they spent the bulk of the time just trying to combine centrally, and it just hasn't worked for them because Japan are so disciplined and they do such a good job of getting 5 defenders back and in structure. It becomes very, very difficult to play and to slide balls down the side of defenders. You end up taking speculative shots from distance. This is a good example of just seeing how tight this team is from back to front. So each of the strips of the pitch is about 6 yards, and there's only 3 strips of pitch that the Japanese defenders are playing in. So they're really compact from back to front. It's about 18 yards from back to front. And that means there's no space between lines. They're tight as well from side to side. So when you look at the Brazilians attacking, they're almost forced, Asmir, to take these speculative crosses from deeper positions, which are really easy to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, I think certainly Brazil have played right into Japan's hands. I think if Japanese block is going to be in a 5-4-1, then I think you have to add a little bit more variety to your play and attacking play. I think keeping everything central is going to be very easy for the Japanese defense to deal with. So I think they have to add a little bit more a vertical attack, try and get in behind, try and use that space, be a little bit more direct, diagonal balls out to the fullbacks, because they're the ones giving them the width at the moment. Douglas Santos and Danilo are the ones keeping the width and getting the balls in. I also look at now Carlo Ancelotti using his bench. He's going to have to maybe bring in the likes of Igor Thiago, who's going to bring in the focal point inside that box for those crosses, because Mateus Cunha is roaming around a little bit too much for my liking. Gabriel Martinelli, again, a very direct player. And then, of course, he's got the wild card of Neymar. Does he call on him to bring some magic back again?
Well, Brazil have not come from behind to win a match at the World Cup since 2002 when they came back against England. When we return, we're going to check in on Canada. Steph Eustachio, of course, the hero for Canada yesterday. We'll check in with Matthew Shinetti to see how Canada is faring a day after the biggest win in the history of the program.
No tripping. Yes, sipping. No fouls. Yes, foul. No frills. Yes, savings.
Every 4 years, we make family traditions. And if we're lucky, make noise. Purchases with the Scotiabank Passport Visa Infinite Plus card to earn Scene Plus points faster and take your tradition to new places.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It happens every morning. Nutrition and fuel to help start whatever's next. Quaker, official sponsor of FIFA World Cup 26.
If football were a nation,
elle serait la plus grande du monde. Si el fútbol fuera un idioma,
تتردد صداها في كل ركن من أركان الأرض.
não importa onde estejas.
No matter who you are.
Si te apasiona el fútbol, perteneces
to the biggest team on the planet.
El fútbol une el mundo.
Football unites the world.
Canada showed real grit and determination in their 1-0 win over South Africa yesterday. World Cup history from Stephen Eustachio. Matthew Shinetti looks at both potential round of 16 opponents' recent history against Canada. Here's Matthew.
It really doesn't matter what opponent you look at as Canada's potential opponent in the round of 16. Canada has history with both Morocco and the Netherlands. Certainly with Morocco, you go back to the final group stage game of the 2022 World Cup journey in Qatar. And Canada, when we talk about all the lessons they learned in Qatar, they certainly learned in those first 25 minutes what Morocco's run at that tournament was all about. It was pace, it was power, and Canada was down 2. inside those first 25 minutes. But there was that spirited fight back in the second half. Sam Adekubi instigated that own goal, and many Canadians will actually give Sam Adekubi that goal given his run down the left side in that situation. And then Captain Atiba Hutchinson was that close to leveling the match late, and that would have given Canada their first point at a Men's World Cup. And certainly the takeaways from that particular game, and you compare it to what happened last night against South Africa, meeting the moment, the tension certainly laid on in games. Well, Canada obviously learned its lesson, irrespective of the fact that it is a much changed roster from the one that was in Qatar. But that would be the history with Morocco. With the Dutch, it was Jesse Marsch's first game in Rotterdam in May of 2024. Canada was very spirited for their new head coach in the first half. And then the Dutch simply rolled right over Canada. 3 goals inside 33 minutes in a packed stadium in Rotterdam. It was one of the Netherlands' lead-up games to the 2024 Euros. And if you're looking for all of the moments now that Jesse Marsch has built on, the lessons he's tried to create with this team, you can pretty much point back to that game in Rotterdam, the do nots and the if you do not perform, these are the consequences that will happen. You have seen that be carried through over the last 2 years. So whether it's Morocco and the World Cup history, which is often palpable when it then leads to an eventual knockout round game with a similar country, a similar opponent. But when you look at this current team under Jesse Marsch, a potential matchup with the Dutch would seem quite fitting given all the lessons they learned since May of 2024 in Rotterdam.
All right, thank you, Matthew. Well, still to come, we've got another half of football to play, and Brazil desperate for a goal. It's the knockout round. Japan lead 1-0 at the half.
Say hi to the Lees and their newest family member, the Kia EV5. Gordon has a lot to do and appreciates looking great while doing it. And Sophia is sporty. Very sporty. When she's not on the field, she's gaming on it. All 5 get what they want in the EV5. And a little more. Kia. Movement that inspires.
When you bet matters. Soccer or football? Move on. Because the beautiful game has a million shifting factors. Canada's premier betting destination for the world's game. Bet with Sports Interaction.
No tripping. Yes, sipping. No fouls. Yes, foul. No frills. Yes, savings.
With Amex Platinum, the possibilities you imagine can become the moments you experience. It's the table you'll talk about for months. Just looking turns into just booked. And you can feel the rush as you're living that bucket list moment. For a life like no other, you need a card like no other. There's nothing like Amex.
It's World Cup time. Ready to kick off. Goal off. Dance off. Cheers off. Smirnoff. Game on. Smirnoff.
Inside Houston Stadium, as the players are just about to take to the field for the second half, we're not surprised Japan's leading 1-0. Jason, do you think Brazil is?
I think it could be. I think Carlo Ancelotti and his team will have obviously prepared Brazil for the 5-4-1 block. It'll be really interesting to see what tactical changes Brazil makes, because their approach in the first half really didn't create a great deal of chances for them.
Yeah, I think they certainly need to add a little bit more variety. It's been way too predictable in this first half, and I just need to step it up a gear. I think a little bit more pace to the ball movement, all their passing. I think it's going to help them a lot in the second half.
Yeah, I think they almost seemed surprised when Japan did try to counter, and that lack of focus in transition can really hurt them again. So they have to make sure that in those moments where Japan does choose to burst forward quickly, or turn and burn, as Jen referred to it, They need to be prepared for that. They need to be prepared organizationally, get their fullbacks back defensively as quickly as they can, and put pressure on the most dangerous player.
They're getting ready for the second half. Here are the gentlemen to call it, Paul Walker and Glenn Davis.
Neymar there, still waiting for his moment, perhaps to have an influence on this particular game. Paquetá not moving at all well. He's finally got his boots sorted out, Endrick. And here he is. Endrick of Real Madrid, but spent time on loan at Lyon last season. And there has been a clamour in Brazil for him to get more game time, even start games, but Carlo Ancelotti preferred to use him from the bench and listen to the roar for him. So that change has been met with a seal of approval. Let's see what kind of a difference he can make. Back underway then, Japan in the white shirts, going from left to right here in Houston. And with that 1-goal advantage. And Endrick is onto this. First involvement for him. Cunha up there with him, touched off to Ryan. Vinicius Jr. Swirling ball, good handling from Suzuki.
That's why you bring on Endrick. You got youthful spirit here. You got a young player that's extremely talented. Stage may be set for him to break out, but he can run at people. He can do it in tight spaces. He's a player that's got to try to lift this team now. It also brings into question, wow, amazing control from way down.
Ridiculous, wasn't it? Nakamura got a second bite at this one.
Took my breath away.
It's not a bad ball either. This is Ritsu Duan, and hacked away by Douglas Santos. Brazil have only failed to score in one of their last 13 World Cup matches. That was a 1-0 group stage defeat to Cameroon 4 years back. Desperate for one now. Ito. Whistle has gone though. Brazil awarded a free kick, much to the dismay of the entire Japanese bench down there.
Brazil's definitely trying to make this a little bit more of a chaotic game, a little bit more of a high-tempo game.
Good ball, Endrick unable to get it under his spell. And Maeda on the surge for Japan. What a run this is. He's earned his team a free kick. It's brought about a yellow card as well for Danilo.
Danilo and Casemiro have one. This is obviously to kill off this transitional moment. It's a professional foul. This referee's been very, very good on making sure that people understand somebody breaks out in transition and you grab them, you're picking up a yellow.
Maurizio Mariani of Italy is our referee for this one, incidentally. Hiroki Ito safely back to Zion Suzuki, earning his 29th cap for Japan today. 8 clean sheets from 10 appearances in qualifying for the Japanese goalkeeper. Bit of a loose touch there from Tomiyasu, which meant the second one he was struggling to reach.
When Cunha was trying to apply the pressure here. They're going to give Japan a free kick.
Japan's 8th goal at this World Cup, which equals the record for an Asian nation. A level now with Korea Republic, who also got 8 in 2002. Oh, nicely done. Casemiro getting a toe on it, and that could break rather nicely for Endrick. And the pass not up to the required standard.
Japan's got to be very, very careful here, especially in this first 15 minutes. Keep their composure. They're finding spaces. Brazil's committing themselves forward.
Maeda on the move. Marquinhos unflustered back to Alisson.
Marquinhos is just so good. That was just effortless.
He plays the game as though he's wearing carpet slippers.
There are those defenders that are just effortless and can do things in a different way because they read the game on the next level, and he's one of them.
Just the 39 trophies he's won in 13 years at Paris Saint-Germain. Just the 39.
Incredible.
Maeda to Nakamura. That's a nice touch. But didn't work out from Maeda. And Brazil back on the attack with Vinicius Jr. Guimaraes. Gabriel. Casemiro. Marquinhos. Danilo.
Ball comes central. There's just a block of 6 Japanese players. Going to be very hard, even with all the talent Brazil has, to play in those tight spaces and break through and break them down.
The fact that they're defending so narrow, does that tell us they're wanting Brazil to go out wide?
It may be, but you know, if you're going out wide and you're getting the ball to the feet of Endrick and you're getting the ball to the feet of Vini Jr. early, I don't find anything wrong with that from an attacking standpoint. He's coming in on his right a lot.
That's a good ball, and it's a really good save as well from Suzuki. Guimaraes denied.
Tremendous delivery from Danilo. First really clear chance I think Brazil has had today. It's brought the crowd back. But look at this, just put on a platter here. Timing is there, everything is there. Head meets the ball. And it's a good save from Suzuki.
Has that lit the fuse for Brazil, I wonder? Scooped in again, this time towards Vinicius Jr. Guimaraes.
Brazilian fans are back in it, there's no question.
Vinicius Jr.'s cut back. Cleared away. But Brazil will recycle and build again. Marquinhos.
Vini Jr. did well there to get to the end line. I think that in combination with delivery from an inverted way is the way back for them. It's got to be a mixture.
Brazil raising the tempo now, increasing the pressure on Japan, who are dropping deeper and deeper. Ryan. It's deep, it's back across. Did it cross the line? No, it didn't. No, it didn't. Amazingly, it did not. And now the counter is on for Japan. Junya Ito, Maeda streaking through the middle. There's others up there as well. Nakamura, driven across. And an opportunity wasted. Wow, drama at both ends.
Unbelievable sequence. And Brazil, they teased out the goalkeeper Suzuki and pinballs around the penalty area. Tomiyasu blocks it. He doesn't even know he blocked it. This is just an incredible sequence. And then it leads to that transitional moment. But Brazil getting rewarded with coming out here with more vigor, more intent, and more urgency.
Well, luck was certainly shining down on Japan then, that is for sure. And they maintain their one-goal advantage here. Casemiro. Ryan with Danilo flying up round the back of him. Guimaraes now. And cleared by Doan.
Brazil looks a lot more alive here now. They seem to have woken up.
Real test now of Japan's defensive resolve. Ryan against Nakamura, and again he's delivered well. They're coming in from both sides, left and right now. Gabriel, that's decent, and thumped in for the equaliser by Casemiro. Houston sways in yellow and green. The samba has found its rhythm. The carnival has found its heartbeat. Brazil back in business.
Well, you could feel it coming. The irony here is that Casemiro got caught on the Japanese goal by Kashu-Sano. Well, he's just equalized. There's no pressure on the delivery. He's onside at the back post. He pulls away from a defender and snaps in the sweetest of headers. Gets up beautifully, times it perfectly. And that is just a blurry orb that flies past Suzuki. But you could feel it coming. Brazil has woken up here. Their fans have woken up. Their energy and urgency is back now.
Well, how the atmosphere in here has changed after that. Did mention earlier on that he's been scoring a lot of headers for Manchester United in the season just gone. There's one for Brazil, one that levels the game in Houston. 8 of his 9 goals in the Premier League last season, headers. And now it really is game on again.
Well, and if you're Japan, you got to say to yourself, you started to defend too deep. You had mentioned that. You didn't get any pressure on the delivery. You made it a little bit easy. And the more of those types of balls that were being bent in, there were warning signs prior to it. Cunha had a header that was close.
There is Casemiro, but given away cheaply. That might open the door for Maeda, but he was surrounded. Here's Ryan. Out to Vinicius Junior, puts it through the legs of Tomiyasu. Danger here. Vinicius Junior, brilliant skill! Off the inside of the post! And belted over by Cunha. Wow! Brilliant stuff from Vinicius Junior, but left looking at the heavens in frustration.
Just eye-popping. Through the legs, he's gone. You're not going to catch him. And then with the outside, I think Suzuki got a hand on this. We're about to find out. He did. This is a huge save from Suzuki on Vinny Jr. to put that off the post, because that was ticketed for the lower corner. Spectacular goalkeeping from Zion Suzuki.
Well, the pace, the tempo, the intensity of the game now has gone up 2-3-fold, hasn't it?
Yeah, they brought it up another level here. They got their fans back in it now. You could feel it coming. The opening kickoff in the second half, you could just see Brazil looked a different team, ready to do more and ready to get back in this game.
Here's Ueda for Japan. Ritsu Doan. Nicely done. Ueda took it on the spin. Gets away from him though.
Yeah, here's the look at it. Definitely Casemiro's onside. That back post area is a beautiful place to get. You pull off and away from a defender because their eyes are on the ball. And he just does what he does best.
The right foot of Hiroki Ito playing him onside. Brazilian royalty in attendance today. Ronaldo looking on. He'll be feeling much better about how this is going now for Brazil, having seen that Casemiro equaliser.
Yeah, so Japan is rattled a bit now, and they got to see if they can get themselves a little bit more composed here, because that was an incredible wave of attacks from Brazil. Saw the obvious handball.
Vinicius Jr. Guimaraes. Trying to thread that one through. Either Douglas Santos or Vinicius Jr., but didn't reach either of them.
Yeah, there's just not enough pressure on the ball, but that with or without pressure, this is a beautifully hung up ball at the back post. And look at that leap from Casemiro. I mean, the timing of it, nobody went up with him.
Casemiro, the second oldest goal scorer for Brazil at the World Cup, behind only Bebeto.
Tremendous crossing and finishing. What an example of it. This is good from Japan here now to take a bit out of it.
Suzuki, who's made 4 saves in the match. That'll run for Maeda, making a beeline for goal. Alisson there to deal with it.
He's an absolute flyer, Maeda.
Well, that's the thing. They do have a lot of pace at the top of the pitch, so on transitions, they are deadly, Japan.
That has to be honored, and Brazil's fully aware of it. We're seeing Japan trying to get organized and press a little bit higher here.
Oh, Maeda closing that one down from Alisson. Hendrick.
We've seen a few goalkeepers in the World Cup get caught in possession.
Vinicius Jr. Cunha to Guimaraes. Spins away from Maeda. Danilo. Oh, it's all coming together now for Brazil. Ryan. Great skill. Cunha. Ryan delivering. And Suzuki is there. But that was like the Brazil of old when I was growing up.
Yeah, we've seen a little bit more of the tricks and flicks and the great combination play and movement and mobility. They're definitely more alive here in the second half, but now it's got their goal. Now it's kind of settled into a period here of measuring each other again.
Well, it looked like one of the standout ties in the round of 32. It's delivered, hasn't it?
No question about it, and it's absolutely fascinating.
Maeda. He's got Marquinhos all over him, but he's got away from him. What a ball that is. No flag. Ueda. Junior Ito making his move into the penalty area now, but he takes it on himself, and he really hit that. Spilled by Alisson. Really thundered goalwards. The But it's back in the hands of the Brazilian keeper.
Yeah, it's hit with tremendous power. It took a slight deflection. It's Alisson's all the way, though. Might wonder if that was the right decision, because he did have some options getting in and around the box. I also like the fact that he took the responsibility to try and produce a second goal for Japan.
Change on the way for Brazil. Gabriel Martinelli is down there and ready for action.
Can you imagine? Nice sub to have. Nice change to be able to make. Dipping into Gabriel Martinelli.
Vinicius Jr. And Japan are readying changes as well. Hydration break not too far away. Ryan Guimarães. Vinicius Jr. onto Santos. Steered clear by Japan's goal scorer Sano.
But these crosses coming from wider areas, this has been a real bonus to kind of stretching out Japan a little bit more and creating little pockets of space.
Mateus Cunha is off and Gabriel Martinelli is on. And Japan making alterations of their own here. Yukinari Sugawara will be one of those to be introduced. So will Junichiro Suzuki. And he is the first to make his entrance.
It's like Dewan's going out as well.
And Nakamura. Those the two to make way.
Well, now it's kind of reset to a game where Japan's playing for that moment again. With Brazil dominating all the possession.
Hydration break may well come at a good time for Japan, the way this is going at the moment.
This is the Brazil we all expected here in the second half.
Martinelli.
Everything just seems quicker, you know. The ball's leaving their feet quicker. Their decision making's quicker.
Ryan getting much more success down that side as well. Didn't see a great deal from him in the first half, but much more positive in the second. Beautifully poised this now. Casemiro. Ryan again getting the cross in. Martinelli with the outside of the boot. Casemiro, he's spotted Endrick. It's flicked away, few appeals for a penalty from behind that goal. And the referee tells Endrick to get back up off the floor.
We had about 60,000 fans also appealing for that penalty as well. I can't give that. He's won the header. A little slight nudge there, but nobody's given that.
Well, it's riveting. We've hit the hydration break. This game got top billing, and it's delivered.
Another round of keep up for old time's sake?
Oh, I don't know, man. It's been a minute.
It's all muscle memory. Once you learn,
you never forget. Just like setting up a savings goal on the BMO app.
If you say so.
I do say so.
Play for the Ultras?
worth playing for. Michelob Ultra Zero.
We've removed the full HST on new homes and cut municipal fees, saving you up to $200,000 on a new home. It's just one way we're taking action today to make homes more affordable tomorrow. Like building homes faster by cutting red tape and partnering with municipalities to build more homes. Because by making housing more affordable today, we can get more families in more homes tomorrow.
Are you hungry? I ordered us a couple of hot dogs.
Yeah, I could eat.
Mustard?
Yes, please. I'll get breakfast.
Okay.
Get the Crave TSN bundle.
This is the moment.
Stream every match of the FIFA World Cup and the return of the HBO original series, House of the Dragon.
You are the Queen of Dragons.
All this for a limited time. Visit tsn.ca/FIFA26.
Rhaenyra's coming.
We are exposing her as weak.
My enemies have been allowed to muster their strength.
Definitely don't. We're seeing something special here today. And the way this tournament was set up, yeah, it was expanded to 48 teams, but what that does is that sets you up for 16 games of consequence. And we're at a great one right now, and there are two more great ones today. Germany, Paraguay, and then, of course, Morocco and Netherlands. There's going to be all eyes on those games as well.
Certainly so. Of course, Netherlands facing Morocco for the right to come here to take on Canada in Houston. Germany, Paraguay, the winner of that one will take on France or Sweden. So back underway. Brazil 1, Japan 1. And where is the next twist coming from, I wonder?
So the three high players are Hayan, Endrick, and Vinny. Hayan and Vinny are getting the width here. And you wouldn't bet against Vinny in a game like this, although he just got dispossessed.
Onyeka Ito was impeded. Japan get the set piece.
And that was Martinelli, like he was a man possessed here, trying to get back here and kill off that transitional moment.
Kamada. Noguchi. Sano. Sold the pass short. Received gratefully by Douglas Santos. Now Danilo carrying Brazil up towards halfway. Guimarães. Endrick. Good ball. Vinicius Junior. Only one thing on his mind by the looks of this. And then put it into an area where there wasn't a yellow shirt.
That was a rare moment where the entire Japanese team was turned and running back towards their own goal, which we have not seen a lot of tonight. They kept the game for the most part in front of them. That's what they do.
Ryan.
The focus, the concentration, the intense concentration to play without the ball like this is something special that Japan carries.
Gabriel sending that one over. And a miscued header, I think, from Ryan, but it did take a deflection. It's gone behind for the corner.
Well, Japan's living on the edge here. That's the way they conceded their goal, right? That same area is where that delivery came from. And they're going to have to get out to crossers of the ball a little bit quicker. You can't bank on defending them. You got to get a few blocks in and throw the deliverer of the ball off a bit.
It's a poor delivery, that. That is a waste, to say the least. But we are only looking one way at the moment. Japan digging in. Marquinhos. Martinelli. Vinicius Junior. Now trying to move Japan side to side and expose gaps here.
Well, when you decide to do it, it just has to go quicker. That's the whole idea. You're moving him from one side of the pitch to the other, and then hopefully you're going to get Vinny isolated or in a place where there's some overloads.
Brazil have progressed from the first knockout round of a World Cup at the last 8 editions. And they make it a 9th here. Vinicius Junior. He's found Endrick. Well, he just lifted it, expecting Martinelli to have made a move, but he didn't. Such an exciting player, though, Endrick. Worked with Carlo Ancelotti at Real Madrid, albeit briefly. He was injured for most of Ancelotti's time there, and when he was fit, Xabi Alonso barely used him. There was no doubt that he is the future of this Brazilian team, Endrick. Here's Gabriel. Vinicius Junior. Well, Suzuki barely moved. He knew it was going wide.
Second balls like that, though, and balls that come off defenses. Somebody jumping on it. He was always caught leaning back. It didn't drop for him perfectly. But you have to try it from there.
Double change for Japan here. Shuta Mashino is coming on. And Daichi Kamada is going off. And Autanaka of Leeds United is joining us as well. Junya Ito was the other player to leave the field. You've not got anywhere to be tonight, Glenn, have you? Because I think we could be in for the long haul here.
We could be in for the long haul. It makes it even more dramatic.
Danilo very quickly shut down by Suzuki.
Does kind of give you that feel as we enter the 79th minute.
Now Casemiro dealing with that. Safely back to Alisson. Douglas Santos. Casemiro. Straight through the middle it goes. Ryan was the target. He hits the turf. Looks rather forlornly in the direction of the referee.
That was a good ball from Casemiro, and it's a good angled in run.
Another full house here in Houston, 68,777. All but one of the games here have been absolutely jam-packed. And even the Cabo Verde match with Saudi Arabia was only a couple hundred short of being a complete sellout. Hendrick. Good challenge from Tanaka. But then he gives it away. Ryan. And now Brazil lose it. Heading towards the last 10 minutes. Nothing to separate them. I've not seen a crowd as energetic as this for as long as this. You can hear the drums beating in the background, but when you look around, particularly at the moment, the Japanese fans just bouncing up and down constantly. They're going to wear themselves out.
It's as if they're out there playing. I mean, that's the beautiful connection between supporters and players. The supporters really feel that they can help you win this game, and there's no doubt that influence exists.
Well, Japan had led in their 2 previous knockout matches coming into this and went on to lose both. They were 2-0 up with just over 20 minutes left against Belgium. In 2018, lost that. They were 1-0 up at half-time against Croatia 4 years ago. Lost on penalties.
Again, a great job from Japan there to double up Vinny Jr.
And Brazil have pegged them back here. Vinicius Jr. Making a dart for the line. Back heeled away from Sukiwara. Danilo. Gabriel. Diving header out from Taniguchi. Is there a winner in this before the 90 minutes are up? Controlled on the chest by Danilo, but Japan refusing to budge.
Japanese do a great job of, when the point of attack is switched like that with a longer diagonal ball, they all shift over so quickly.
Martinelli delivering now. That sails behind. Wader hoping to make this his. He did. And it's tied it up by Douglas Santos.
Saw him use his right arm to try to fend off Gabriel. He was trying to just drop the ball there for a runner to come and pick it up. But it's tough. It's tough to deal in the air with Gabriel and Marquinhos. And when you're a lone striker up there and maybe have a secondary striker to help you, it's not easy.
Pushed inside for the on-running Danilo. He's taken down. Be a card for sure. Yeah, Suzuki is carded.
Second half sub. It's an obvious foul. Looked as though really that Maeda was going to be able to deal with him. I didn't know if he had to come in from that angle, but it's easy to say from up here. This is a very dangerous set piece from the area where this ball is, and this is something that you think is going to get whipped, hit very hard towards the back post.
Zion Suzuki on red alert here, the Japanese goalkeeper. Looks like will be Ryan, despite the presence of Guimaraes being there. We'll see. It is Ryan who goes for it, deflected up and over.
Hendrick got ahead on that, I think, or did it come off a Japanese? It came off a Japanese defender. The idea here is just to hit this hard and wrap your foot around it. It's good defending to just help it over the crossbar.
It was Suzuki, I think, who actually conceded the free kick in the first place, who flicked it clear. Brazil keeping the pressure on, the shape of a corner now. Very flat, flicked on by Casemiro. Vinicius Jr. Plenty in canary yellow inside the box. Brazil have got a man down inside that penalty area. Guimaraes digs out the cross with the outside of the boot, and behind it goes.
Gabriel Martinelli, it looks like.
Yep, it is.
Get caught. Here he is trying to lean in there. Hey, just got an errant arm, and that arm came from Maeda. Maeda got up earlier, and you do go up with your arms extended, and that's why Martinelli got the worst of it. Maeda got up first.
Extra time looming large here. We're into the last 5 minutes now of the 90. A reminder, the winners go through to face either Côte d'Ivoire or Norway. Wader getting up well. Good run from Maeda. From left to right. Machino to Sugawara. Sano. Can they find the right ball in? No, they can't.
This is where Brazil's got to go.
Hendrick looking to get Martinelli away. And Suzuki comes out a long way and clears for touch.
Alert goalkeeping. He saw what was transpiring and what happened with that loss of possession in midfield, so he was already thinking about being a covering player.
He's in a short presence, isn't he, the goalkeeper? I've been really impressed with him throughout this tournament.
Yeah, he's got some flamboyance to him, too. He is an interesting goalkeeper, but he's got a good kicking game as well. Go back to that save he made on Vinny that he pushed off the post.
Yeah, superb that. Absolutely ridiculous save. Danilo. Ryan. Well, Suzuki put an arm in his chest, I think. Free kick given. We're hearing there'll be 6 additional minutes to be played at the end of the 90 here.
Still 8 minutes of football. A lot can happen in that time.
Might something happen here off this set play? Guimaraes to arc one in. Marquinhos was rising. Vinicius Jr. Well, suddenly it opens up. Bends one, deflected and away for a corner. We were right behind that, and that Japanese defence just opened up. Vinicius Jr. took it on, and it's broken for the corner kick.
Well, Martinelli made a great run to peel 2 defenders off Vinny, and that allowed him to create his own shooting opportunity.
Corner played short. Ryan lofting one up there. Vinicius Jr. Twisting, turning. Trying to give two Japanese defenders the slip. Now Tanaka in a real tussle of the two number 7s there. It's gone in Brazil's favour, this free kick.
Tremendous from Vinny Jr. to fight back and recover and win the ball.
Whipped it again. Suzuki, a clean pair of hands. Now maybe Japan can have a break of their own. Machino, who was a late replacement for the injured Wataru Endo. An intelligent pass left to right. Sugawara. Steps round Douglas Santos. Only half away to Ao Tanaka. Suzuki. Well, rather telegraphed cross, really, because Marquinhos knew exactly what was coming. He just belts it away into touch. Problem down there, I think, for Casemiro, who's sat down inside his own box. There he is. And a change may be required here. There is some activity. Fabinho, I think, is the one being prepared.
Been quite the day for Casemiro.
Well, yeah, certainly involved in both goals. Not for good reasons, the first one, but much better reasons for the equaliser. And Fabinho, who now plays for Al Ittihad, is about to join us, appearing at his second World Cup.
You get a lot of experience with Fabinho. He's definitely a deputizing central midfield player, but he's a holding midfield type just like Casemiro. So you go to the bench for a guy that's got a tremendous amount of experience.
Now won the Champions League and Premier League whilst at Liverpool. It's the end of the road in this game for Casemiro, who seems to be struggling with his groin. Fabinho can't get on until Casemiro is off. Now he gets the green light. Japan have a throw.
The reminder, Paul, that all these injuries piling up, that depth is so important in a short tournament like this. You know, we don't know the degree of the injuries, but if they're injuries that are going to take more time, you're having to rely on others.
Yeah, they've got Rafinha already on the treatment table, don't forget. It's played through now to Endrick. Is this Brazil's moment? Martinelli is up there with him. Guimarães arriving on the scene. Endrick with it all to do. And great defending that from Taniguchi.
You said it. Taniguchi's not letting that cross in. Exceptional. Great positional sense from Taniguchi. He's a veteran. He's 34 years old. That's one of his trademarks, is blocking shots. Well, he sealed off that end line, didn't allow that delivery to get in.
Halfway through, the 6 added. Fabinho's header is a harmless one. Well, Brazil have needed extra time 8 times at the World Cup. 5 of those have gone to penalty shootouts. Well, extra time is not far away here in Houston. And I'm not going to complain about that. I want more of this.
Just think of the pressure on, you know, these two sets of players, Brazil and Japan. Maybe more so even on Brazil, because most people expected Brazil to win this.
Marquinhos.
To even think of Brazil getting knocked out of this stage of a World Cup is, you know, people say you're crazy.
Well, it's been a real test of their credentials, this. Let's go back to what their camp has been saying throughout. They feel they are good enough to go right to the very end here, Japan. And they've shown us today just how dangerous they can be. That's a neat give and go. Pull back for Endrick. Now Tanaka quickly on the scene to, well, win it and then lose it. Guimaraes. Pass through, what a ball, Martinelli! Brazil are heading through to the round of 16. For one glorious moment, Houston belongs to Brazil. Surely no way back now for Japan.
Well, I spoke earlier in this game about the value of the repress today for Brazil, and this is after they repressed and won the ball. But Martinelli gets a great position between two defenders. They can't close him down in time. How quickly he gets that shot off is a big, big key here. And it's absolutely and they do it in the final minute of stoppage time here. It does not come easy, but it comes in beautiful fashion.
Well, Koki Agawa is going to come on for Japan with barely any time to make a difference. And Brazil are going to bring on Danilo Santos.
Well, what Japan's going to do here after these changes, I think, they're lining everybody up on the halfway line, and they're going to knock it as deep as they possibly can and just run it down as a group.
This knockout game barrier is just something that Japan can't seem to clear.
Yeah, Brazil's fully aware of this. You can see amongst their players, they're talking about, be careful off this kickoff. You can actually see the intention of Japan.
Sugawara is over the ball. And Suzuki. One last push, perhaps, from Japan. Try and keep their tournament alive here. Clattered into touch, and it took a nick off a Japanese leg as well, and that was celebrated wildly. Free kick awarded to Endrick, who says, could you not have just allowed Martinelli to stride on with the ball there?
Would have been the most space Brazil found all night because of this tough collective defending. But there's the repress. We spoke about it. Beautiful ball. Absolutely fantastic ball from Bruno Guimaraes to pick out Gabriel Martinelli, who positioned himself between two defenders in a great place and then delivers the goods and the goal. and likely the game.
Well, Brazil will be heading to New York, New Jersey, as things stand, unless Japan can find one big chance late in the game. Well, Machino penalised for a foul.
Now Brazil's just got to push up the field, hit this long. Finish this off, but here's your star man, Gabriel Martinelli. There's another star man, Ronaldo.
With Bebeto alongside him.
And Bebeto. Men that know what it is to win a World Cup.
But what it must be like for these Brazilian players to have those legends following them around wherever they go. It does apply a lot of pressure, doesn't it?
It does apply a lot of pressure, no question.
Brazil now seconds away. Suzuki pumping it long. Towering header from Martinelli. Suguara's flick. Danilo Santos clearing. Anywhere will do now, as far as Brazil are concerned. Well, Carlo Ancelotti, a picture of calmness amid chaos down on the touchline.
Both benches are standing up, every single player.
And there it is. Brazil march on to the round of 16 in the most dramatic of circumstances. More knockout heartbreak for Japan. But the quest for the elusive sixth star remains a reality. The ghosts of 2002 are kept at bay for another day. The journey to the summit, that long and agonizing climb, continues. But Brazil lives to dream again. Gabriel Martinelli, in the 96th minute, wins it. They come from behind to go through by 2-1.
For the first time since 2002, Brazil come from behind to win a World Cup game, much to the despair of the Japanese and their fans, Jason.
You have to feel for them. The Japanese did everything they possibly could, took the lead against a strong Brazil team, defended resolutely. Although Brazil came out strong in the second half to equalize, it looked like this game was going to extra time and potentially penalty kicks, and unfortunately an individual error from Tanaka giving the ball away in a dangerous area, and Brazil just showed how dangerous they are when you make mistakes.
Yeah, they're just little sliding passes that they can make when they do have the opportunity to do it. Unfortunately, Japan, their shape just faded somewhat in that second half and allowed Brazil a little bit more space to play in. I think some smart substitutions from the Brazilians as well gave them a little bit more of a spark in the second half. But yeah, you just really do have to feel gutted for the Japanese. Such a wonderful team to watch. Really sad to see them go out.
Yeah, Japan's wait continues. Still never won a game in the knockout rounds, which is devastating for them, as we can see. And they put in incredible effort, but I think when you look at the strength and depth for Brazil, their relentless nature and how they kept attacking, attack after attack, is always going to be difficult to defend against. So credit to Brazil, they kept going and found the quality right at the end.
All right, well, for Brazil, they are off to the round of 16 after a dramatic 2-1 victory over Japan. Time for the TSN Player of the Match, presented by BMO, official Bank of Canada Soccer. Who you got?
Well, it started from Casemiro, who is strong in midfield for them as an anchor, but he got on the end of this lovely cross to the back post. You know, at the start of the second half, Brazil started to really come onto the fore and deliver balls into dangerous areas. Casemiro was there to head home and bring Brazil level.
TSN Player of the Match presented by BMO, official bank of Canada Soccer. And Casemiro with the opening goal for Brazil. He gets the Player of the Match. 91 touches, 2 shot attempts, one of them hitting the back of the net. All right, that brings us to our electric play of the game, presented by Hyundai. Next starts now.
It would be pretty hard to argue against this being the electric play. Any goal that happens in added time ends up being a bit of an electric play. Beautiful ball through from Bruno Guimaraes. Martinelli, one of the substitutes that came on, had a big impact and managed to slot that away. Almost thought Suzuki was going to be able to push that around the post. But unfortunately for Japan, that was the game.
Winning goal is your electric play of the game, presented by Hyundai. Next starts now for Brazil. Absolute delight. Japan beat them in a come-from-behind win in a friendly in October back in Tokyo. Not today, Japan. Not today, as Brazil come back and beat Japan in the first knockout round of the World Cup. We'll be back with thoughts from our panel right after the break.
¿Se ve el equipo? Este es el equipo. Hace 30 años que no quiero. Ok. Dicen que tiene un primer toque increíble. Esa arena dejó la defensa una vez tan mareada que le salieron hasta pajaritos en la cabeza. Y este tipo, siempre con la misma...
He's up next.
He's up next. He's up next. Ganan o se van a casa. Y ellos nunca se han ido a casa. Ustedes son los chicos invencibles.
If you're looking for the future of football, it's gonna be me. Capaz que no sabe quién soy todavía. Pero pronto lo vas a saber.
Aww, that's cute. I'm gonna be so big, I won't even be able to walk down the street.
The future is already here. Next starts now.
Striker is on the move. He cuts inside. He dribbles past one defender. He's heading towards the box. He shoots.
Heaven, I'm in heaven, and my heart beats so that I can hardly speak. When we're out together dancing cheek to cheek.
Aw, Ben's gonna miss him.
Track your spending so you know when you can say yes. With TD MySpend. It's how we're making banking more human.
If I eat poulet rouge every day and change like one topping each time, how long would it take to taste everything? Centuries?
FIFA World Cup 2026 on TSN is presented by Hyundai. As a proud partner of the FIFA World Cup 2026, Hyundai is driving the game and the world forward. Next starts now. FanDuel Sportsbook makes every score mean more with the all-new Super Sub. When your player gets subbed out, your bet stays in. Bell, watch every match with a Game Time Bundle. With sports channels including TSN and 5 Internet. And by President's Choice, make every day more rewarding. Score PC Optimum points on game day essentials. Possible lives here.
the Caipirinhas will be flowing tonight in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, and for all the Brazilian fans in the United States right now cheering on their squad. It was a somewhat underwhelming start for Brazil in this tournament after their opening draw versus Morocco, but they have continued to get better, continued to improve, and Carlo Ancelotti has taken the last year to really turn this team into World Cup contenders. As we take a look at the road to the final, well, Canada's got company, not on the side of their bracket, but as you can see, Brazil are off to the round of 16. They will face the winner of Norway, Cote d'Ivoire, while Canada, the lone team on the other side of the bracket. All right, back with our panel, Jason, Claire, and Asmir. And guys, the creativity, the flair, the firepower of Brazil ended up being the winner in this match against two different tactics, two different types of styles of football. One moment, though, of disorganization for Japan really just led to the ruin of them. Tell us how Brazil was able to orchestrate that winning goal at the end.
Yeah, they just kept coming in the second half, Jen. And when you look at how Brazil went about this game, they won't be impressed by how they played overall, but they were very persistent. And when they got back into the match after Casemiro's goal, they just kept going, and they were looking to try and attack in behind, not necessarily by individual runs, because they were really